Hello again. I'm Craig Sisko and I'm back to talk to you about more of Victoria's Secret. This time, I'm here to talk about the SWOT analysis of our company. I'm going to give you some of what our internal strengths and weaknesses are, as well as our opportunities and threats emanating from the outside environment. I'll also get into the SO strategies, ST strategies, WO strategies, and WT strategies that we have come up for Victoria's Secret. I hope you know what those strategies stood for because you're doing the same project as we are. Regardless, let's get started.
Sorry about that bad joke at the end of my in-person video, but I'm here to talk to you about the SWOT analysis of Victoria's Secret. So some of the strengths of Victoria's Secret, first is their narrow differentiation. They focus on the areas that they thrive and do very well in, while they cut their product areas that they struggle to produce positive effects. In this case, their narrow differentiation is in the lingerie department. Another strength of Victoria's Secret is their marketing. More specifically their brand name. If, like I said in my previous part, if I were to say Victoria's Secret to you, the first thing you would come up with is lingerie. So that's how Victoria's Secret's marketing is a very strong part, and more specifically to their brand name. Lastly, one of their strengths is customer service. Their in-store experience is, above all else, fantastic. They have well-trained customer service reps that in every store around the country. This makes their in-store experience like no other, and it makes it a lot different than most other lingerie companies. The first weakness of Victoria's Secret is that they only market to one body type instead of all of the body types, and need to shift over to all body types instead of just one. Therefore, they target a lot more people than just a set amount of people in the one body type they target with all their fantasy undergarment lines and stuff like that in all their fashion shows. Their next weakness is style over comfort. It should be comfort over style because it's trending more in that way now. A lot more people are looking for comfort instead of style when looking for undergarments. So this is one weakness that Victoria's Secret needs to address. Now I'm going to talk about the opportunities for Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret's first opportunity is to expand on their e-commerce business. As you guys know, technology is constantly growing, and it's happening at a rapid pace. E-commerce is now the number one way to purchase clothing, and it's the number one way to purchase really anything for that matter. It's accessible for the majority of people everywhere, and it's super easy to do. You don't have to worry about parking or paying to keep the meter running so you don't get a ticket. You can order anything right from your couch, and it's the new way to do things. A lot of people are picking up on the e-commerce wave now. Another opportunity for Victoria's Secret is to start appealing to the younger generations. Victoria's Secret has lost the loyalty of some middle-aged women, and older women just don't shop there anymore. Therefore, their main target should just be the younger generation, and this is a great opportunity for Victoria's Secret to promote and innovate their sportswear lines. Sportswear is definitely being worn a lot more by the younger generation, so this gives Victoria's Secret a huge opportunity to expand the brand and increase their sales. When talking about threats of Victoria's Secret, there's only one major threat that stands out, and that's body positivity. All their competitors are starting to focus on a more body positive approach. Victoria's Secret is very slow to adopt this movement, and they're almost at like a standstill pace. People are starting to shy away from Victoria's Secret because of this. They're not inclusive in their lingerie lines for all their body types, like I mentioned earlier in this part of the presentation. Now moving on to talk about the different quadrants of the strategies you see here. Starting with the SO strategies, one strategy we came up with is for Victoria's Secret to continue to be narrow differentiators. They continue to be a narrow differentiator to improve the products that they make the best, which is lingerie, so they can take advantage of the forecasted growth in the fashion industry over the upcoming years. Another strategy, we came up with is to use in-store customer service to promote e-commerce. Like we said earlier, e-commerce, customer service is one of the strong suits of Victoria's Secret. So we can use the customer service to promote the e-commerce business and to try to get the e-commerce business off the ground and running. One ST strategy that we came up with was to shift over to a more body positive approach. You can use the name, brand, and loyal customer base that Victoria's Secret has established, to focus their efforts on becoming a more body positive company. Since they have such a loyal following and many of their customers are beginning to support a more body positive idea, this should be an easy transition for Victoria's Secret. One WO strategy we came up with, the first one is to produce more body positive products. This goes back into our ST strategies because this is such a huge part of the lingerie industry. A lot of companies are starting to shift over to a more body positive style. So producing more body positive products is definitely an opportunity that we can find from one of our weaknesses. Also, it's a shift to comfort over style instead of style over comfort, like I mentioned earlier. This is definitely an opportunity coming from our weaknesses to move to comfort over style, and they go hand in hand. If we shift to a comfort over style approach, it'll be more easy to produce body positive products since we're not looking for primarily style, but we're looking for something that's comfortable for all body types. Last but not least is the WT strategies. Not strategies, just strategy, because we came up with one major one, and it's just moving towards a more e-commerce friendly direction. And this goes hand in hand with our SO strategy of using in-store customer service to promote e-commerce. Really, this WT strategy, though, it's more of just having the overall idea of going towards e-commerce because e-commerce has grown wicked fast in the past couple of years, and just having that e-commerce strength would benefit Victoria's Secret so much, and it will make the presence in that e-commerce sector more appealing for the younger generation, so they can get into Victoria's Secret and see that not only is Victoria's Secret more about comfort over style now, which is one of the WO strategies, but also the e-commerce is definitely a huge part since a lot of the younger generation is used to living on their phones and buying stuff on their phones.